Spacey Sims, and we're back with more the Somnium Files, and I have a headache. I'm a little lightheaded. I think I'm gonna puke. But we're here for this, because we need to do this part. Nothing to do with anything. I'm not, like, sick or anything. It's just like, oh my god, like... Okay, anyway. I'm fine. But, like, holy crap, I need to eat. But I also need to record this, because this is so, like... anxiety, like, hello. So we're here, and hopefully the microphone is okay. I had to adjust my microphone settings for something else, so I'm like, fuck it. So hopefully I'm not, I would say hopefully I'm not too quiet, but I'm very loud, so, I have, like, a ball of nerves right now. Not because of this, for other things, but, like, anyway, you know what? Let's just get into this, and, like, holy fuck. That son of a bitch Ota tased us. Oh, hey, be nice. You guys be nice if he doesn't want to play with you. I know. You're mad because I left you because I had to go do something else and you were screaming at me and I yelled at you. He doesn't even fucking remember. My god, he's such an asshole sometimes. But anyway. But if he doesn't want to play with you, don't make him bite you. You don't deserve that. He's a good birdie. Go play with other toys. He's a jerk. Anyway. Just to make you wait longer. Okay. When I woke up, I was lying on the sofa. Oh my god.
Where am I?
Oh my god, my nerves. My head was killing me and my memory was foggy. Also, I'm assuming IBA doesn't work. I felt a sudden pain in my neck. So we are fucked. Mama? I shot up, rubbing my neck. When I looked over the counter, I saw a monster staring back at me. It's Mama, you bastard. Took me a few seconds before I realized it was just Mama. So, I thought they were gonna, like, tase me and torture me or some shit. Did they, like, tase me so that he could grab Tessa and run? And Mama's like, I found you passed out here. What the fuck? That's what I'm wondering if that just happened, just based on the fact that Mama's here. Because remember, we came in here with Ota and we're like, Ota, what's that thing that you were talking about? And he's like, oh, hey! And took her and ran. Because they're like, oh, they're onto us! You know what, Ota? I'm gonna kick your fucking ass. Ota, not gonna lie, I hate Iris more than you, but I still hope you get hit by a truck. I'm not nice.
It looks like you're awake now.
Oh, Mama, I'm glad you weren't in on the sabotaging us. As Mama spoke to me, it all came rushing back. I remembered everything. It's nice that a taser takes out my eyeball, just saying. It's kind of rude. Okay, so those fuckers are gone. Okay. Sofa. Specials on the chalkboard. Oh, we can see a hanger here. Hanger. Flyer. There's a poster. I'm just making sure that nothing is interesting. Stool. TV. Bar counter. Beer tap. Menu. Has writing on the back. Bottles. Shelves. Refrigerator. Really? No Mama joke? We always make a joke about Mama in the refrigerator, and we haven't done that. I'm just disappointed. There's music. There's this picture. Blackboard bottles, posters, things like that. I don't think we can, like... No. Nothing up here. No lights. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to, like... No banners. Nothing. Okay, so I guess here we go. Whoops. Boop, boop. Boop. Mama. Look at Mama. Mama's polishing the dried bonito. What time is it?
It'll be 3 o'clock soon. In the morning, of course.
Where's that fucker Ota? That's not exactly what he said.
Ota? The boy I asked to watch the bar?
I'd say he's too old to be called a boy, but yeah.
He was already gone when I came back.
Yeah, those fuckers tased me and ran! Oh, we're gonna kill Ota.
All I saw was you getting your beauty sleep on the floor.
And she just left me on the floor, by the way. I'd like to point that out.
Damn it, Ota. What are you thinking?
It appears that he took off with Iris.
What were you doing during all this?
She was tased too, bro.
My power was shut down due to the stun gun.
I mean, I'm just saying. Like, we saw it.
I have rebooted in safe mode and am now operational.
Why didn't you wake me up?
I tried. You wouldn't budge. I thought you were passed out drunk, so I left you like that.
But I didn't have a glass in front of me, right?
So you weren't drunk?
I was tased, bro.
Didn't have a single drop.
Oh, I thought you were drinking straight out of the bottle.
I like how Mama just leaves Ota in charge of the bar. Some dude she's never fucking met. Oh, that kid that was here first time I ever met him left him in charge of the bar. I thought you were drunk. So again, you thought I just came in here, got wasted while you were gone. Well, no one else was here because the strange kid that you just met, that you left running the bar, was gone. And none of that phases you. Mama, how the fuck do you stay in business? Like, seriously? What the fuck? I love it so much, though. I really do.
Just like the old days.
The shit, I want to watch an anime that's literally just Marble. That's literally just like Mama and all this fucking weird bullshit. And people are like, he just comes in here and drinks and you don't, no, I don't charge him. And oh, hey, I just met you and this is crazy, but watch my bar for me, maybe? I gotta go pick up some more bonito flakes to polish.
Date, the boss is calling.
I was like, I can't even say bonito flakes. Like,
Oh, how am I gonna report this one?
Date, listen. Stay calm, but this is an emergency. Just now, the killer... Well, just watch the video.
did they kill Iris and Ota?
I sent the address to Iba.
She's still breathing.
Iris.
Okay, now don't get worried about her. Fuck her. This bitch let you get tased. Okay, can we just let her die this time? No sympathy.
No, that's...
The criminal is streaming this live.
Is like Ota the criminal?
Iba, the source.
Identified. The Okiura Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse, Koto District.
I like how she always dies in that fucking fishery and like...
Okiura?
Date, focus. We need to get to the site, now.
I think Mama ran out of marble. You didn't even pay your tab. We didn't have a tab, Mama. Are you sure? I don't want us to get there in
What's
time.
our ETA?
Our destination is far from here.
Good.
20 minutes at the fastest.
Good, let her die. I hate her. And honestly, no sympathy for this bitch. None. Less sympathy in this route than I had in the other one, and you know how much I hated her in the other one.
Please, please let me make it in time.
She was at least more sympathetic, but I appreciate Date being like a decent human being and being like, I'm worried about another person. But actually, in this one, she never
Sick bastard!
Is he dressed like a polar bear? She never sexually blackmailed us in this one. He's live streaming her death. But he already took her eyeball. Are we gonna have to watch this? Okay, I hate her, but I don't want to watch her die.
Tessa! Hold
Oh.
on! I'll save you!
But you know what?
Ota!
I think it was faked.
Stay away from Tessa!
Ota faked it.
Ah!
Ota faked this fucking shit. Just to make it look like he saved her. That is such fucking bullshit. I kept my foot to the gas the whole time. I could feel the sweat on my palms. The engine raised a high-pitched scream. Right? Because, first of all, where the fuck were you this whole time, Ota? Right? Okay, so maybe the killer knocked you out. Right? And then kidnapped her, and then somehow you just managed to find him, and were able to run in on camera to stop her. And the killer, dressed like a polar bear, right? So you couldn't see him, was just nowhere to be seen. And didn't try to stop you. And you got the upper hand on him? Fuck it. It was all staged. We're the original Cyclops killer, and Ota is a fucking wannabe. And he just staged that bullshit. Fuck him, okay? Like, seriously, Ota, fuck you. You tased me and faked this shit? You are such a scumbag. Well, you're worse than Iris. Well, maybe no one's worse than her, but still. Wow! I hate everyone in this game. That's not true. I love Date. I really do. He's a fucking pervert, but I love him anyway. Anyway. But I can barely hear it. My heartbeat was pounding in my ears, shaking me to the core. How much time had passed? The feeling of time itself had disappeared. Eventually, the car reached a long bridge. Shortly after, the image changed. This is getting good, though.
No, it can't be. No. Stop!
Oh my god. I don't want to watch it!
No!
Oh, I fucking made us watch it! I still think it was fake. But maybe not that part. Is he gonna wipe the blood off? I was expecting him to wipe the blood off. If we don't find her body there, it was fake. I'm not 100% sure. Like, look, I think Ota staged the very beginning, but I'm really wondering if then he killed her, because I don't... How would he have run in? Oh, I'm going to turn the thing off, and then the killer let it happen? Unless you're trying to tell me the killer is so fucking sure of himself that he's just like, wait, you go ahead and stop it. I'm going to kick Ota's ass. You know?
No!
I still don't trust Ota now. I mean, he tased us. And he had that grin on his face when he did it. Like that self-satisfied, smug bastard grin. I don't know. Monday, 3:35 a.m., Harbor Warehouse District. If we don't find her body there... We still have a sexy car, though. I appreciate it. What the fuck happened here? I mean, we saw what happened to her, but like... Why? What are you... Oh, I didn't really actually see that. Was he in the bear costume the whole time? Or did the killer put him in the bear costume? Because it's kind of questionable what happened here. You know what I mean? Like, what if he killed her and then put himself in the bear was in the bear costume? It was him the whole time. And then he just killed himself. It's like a murder-suicide! I feel like sawing yourself in half would be a really painful way to go, but... Okay, so maybe Ota didn't stage all that and was innocent. I don't know, but still, I don't trust him. And if you hadn't tased me, bro, that wouldn't have happened. I'm saying. Monday, 10:02 a.m., police headquarters. But see, those are why we don't stop at those scenes anymore, because this one is all sorts of fucked up with this. Oh, okay. What's happening? Why are we...
There you are. Finally. I was looking all over for you.
Huh.
It's rare to see you down like this. But it's understandable.
I mean, I'm sure we feel responsible.
You blame yourself for this, don't you?
I mean, if I hadn't gotten tased, but it's not really my fault that Ota's a jackass.
Beating yourself up about taking Iris to Marble.
Mm-hmm. Well, that part, yeah. Alright. Yeah.
And about letting Ota get the upper hand on you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that too.
Am I right? Shall I tell you what Investigation HQ thinks?
I was waiting for him to continue and I realized I had to click.
Ota Matsushita is a criminal stalker who committed murder-suicide.
That's exactly what it looked like, and that's where my brain went too. But now the fact that they jumped to that and went, oh, he committed murder-suicide makes me think that's what the killer wants you to think. and then that's not exactly what happened. You know what I mean? Maybe it exactly is, but it makes me question it. Makes me wonder now.
Ota had a selfish love for Iris.
True.
He was under the delusion that Iris loved him too.
I think he was under the delusion that he could get her to love him. I don't know if he was necessarily there yet, but okay.
But Iris refused Ota.
Well, not directly. She kind of let him on, if you think about it. Like, she never was like, no, Ota, we're just pals. Otherwise, well...
So Ota decided that he and Iris should be together in the afterlife, killed her, then killed himself.
I mean, that's exactly what it looks like. And if that's the way it turns out, like, this is exactly what happened, I wouldn't be surprised. But I also wouldn't be surprised if it was like, this is what they want you to think, and then, oh, but actually the killer did it to make it look like this. But then again, at the same time, the killer never made Renju's murder or Shoko's murder look like a murder-suicide and tried to cover it up. They blatantly put the bodies out there for people to find. So, why would they want you to think it was a murder-suicide? But okay, so it's not Renju, because he's dead. It's not Ota and Iris, because they're dead. So, like, unless Mizuki is murdering people, or we were a murderer and we're still a murderer, but how did we manage to do this and then also be so, you know, we couldn't have done this. Because, you know what I mean? We were seeing it all happen while we were... Have fun watching this repeatedly. So, like, that leaves Pewter and Boss. It could be number 89, but he's not out of prison this time. He didn't escape this time. And Pewter helped him escape, so Pewter's not looking too good is all I'm saying. But then again, Boss has never looked bad, so maybe it... I'm just saying Boss and Pewter are like the only two people it's possible to really be, actually. Doesn't mean that we weren't the original Cyclops killer, but I'm just saying this one now, they look sus.
That's ridiculous. Ota would never kill Iris. And how do you explain the other two murders?
Unless it was Mama, because, like... it's like the only people left.
Iris's left eye was hollowed out. Just like Renju and Shoko. Those three murders were definitely executed by the same person.
And you think Ota... Yeah, and I don't think Ota could have done that. Well...
The new Cyclops killer.
I mean, he could have, but what would be the... Why?
There's no way that's Ota. Too many pieces don't fit.
Also, I don't think he's criminally sophisticated enough for that. The murder-suicide thing with him and trying to look like I'm saving Tessa, and then he died, and then it's like, oh, he was trying to save her, and then he tragically died. You know, I could see him doing that, but...
Too many contradictions, like killing Iris.
Such as?
Yeah, I don't think he gave... I mean, he wasn't in the point where he would resort to that. I mean, it's possible. But I get Date's point. Because, like, Boss was like, oh, you know, that makes Boss look more suspicious. She's totally like, it's a murder-suicide. He was totally in love with her, and she turned him down. She never actually turned him down, though. She was kind of leading him on. She is a fucking douche canoe. Like, she knows that Ota's in love with her. She gets whatever the fuck she wants out of him. You know? God damn it, game. It's not my game, it's my computer. God damn it, computer. Sorry. I don't know if it keeps flipping out for you, but anyway. So, I don't know. Maybe, but... it makes me question everything. Oh. It's time for us to click around and do some shit. Let's click some shit. Pipes. Pipes on the walls. Nothing on the door. Nothing down here except from the desk. Computer. Camera. Doesn't feel good to have the lens staring at you. Camera used for interrogation. We already got the computer. We got the pipes. We got pipes again. I don't know where the other camera is. Oh, there's the other camera. Surveillance camera. The mirror. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else. Just Boss, I guess. Oh, the door. The door. Let's run for it. Okay. Just Boss. Look at Boss. The Boss is sitting in front of me. That's all it is, right? Yeah, okay. Oda had no incentive to kill Renju.
Maybe he was thinking like this. The reason Iris and I can't be together is because her agency prohibits it.
No.
Making the president, Renju, the ultimate bad guy in his mind.
Mizuki is Ota's close friend. Do you really think Ota would kill his friend's father?
Oda had no incentive to kill Shoko.
Shoko was married to Renju. Maybe he was trying to get at Renju by killing her.
That's a stretch.
Like, now I'm sus of everyone, and I'm starting to feel sus of Boss, because she's not like, it's not like, she's like, this is what they've determined is, like, it's a murder-suicide. And he's like, that doesn't make sense. Okay, let's talk about it. He's like, what about this? Okay, well, what? She's like, she seems to be insistent on it. And it could just be the way it's written, but it's also strange instead of being, she's like, this is what it is. Ota didn't have a reason to do this. And she's not like, well, what if this could be it? She's like, he just hated Renju. Like, she's coming, like, she's not, like, presenting her arguments in a way of, like, well, what if this was the reason? Like, maybe this is it. She just seems a little too sure of it. Like, she's trying to force it. I don't know. And again, it could just be the way it's
They've
written,
been divorced for years.
It's just really sus, because her and Pewter are the most sus people now.
Ota knows all about it. He wouldn't use Shoko to get to Renju.
Because, I mean, we already know Pewter did some seriously fucking suspicious shit. So, I'm just saying. And Boss won't tell us anything about the Cyclops killings. Oda's behavior during the video.
Stay away from Tessa!
Yeah.
Ota showed himself on the stream.
Right, but that makes it look like he was trying to save her, and then now when he's been murdered, it makes it look, oh, he was trying to save her! Not he's a crazy, creepy stalker. Although, to be fair, if he was a crazy, creepy stalker, I mean, he is one, but that was going to cross the line to murder-suicide, I don't think he'd care if he looked innocent. I mean, okay. All right. I'm following you, Dante. Okay.
If he was going to kill Iris and then himself, why would he do that?
I kind of didn't think that she was actually going to die. I thought he was staging the whole thing until she died. And then I was like, I don't...
The only reason you would show yourself like that is to prove that you weren't the culprit.
Right. If you were staging this whole thing.
Ota and the polar bear on the screen at the same time would prove that they're not the same person.
But there's no point where they're on the screen at the same time.
That behavior would be totally unnecessary if he was going to commit suicide anyway.
But here's the thing. The polar bear and Ota were never on the screen at the same time.
Well, maybe he wasn't planning on dying at first. After he killed Iris, he realized that he couldn't live with himself.
So he lies down on the workbench and turns on the ice-cutting machine himself?
I mean, that's a severe way to die.
I don't buy it.
But his eye wasn't cut out either, so you'd think. I mean, I think he was collateral damage. Because he was there, and then the killer had to get rid of him, but strange he didn't, like... I guess he doesn't get to cut out his eye, because he's like, you weren't supposed to be here, you dumb fuck, you're ruining my shit, so you don't even get the benefit of being a Cyclops victim. You're just some asshole got cut by an ice cutting machine. What about the... Wait. Okay, polar bear costume. Alright.
The culprit was wearing a polar bear costume, probably to hide their identity.
Yeah, but it also made Ota look sus. So
But if murder-suicide was the plan, the costume served no purpose.
I mean, I get what he's saying.
There are some
also.
additional discrepancies. I analyzed the investigation report. Judging by his wound, Ota was stabbed in the side by a kitchen knife or something similar.
Are you sure?
I am.
I told the boss what Iba found.
Oh, I know that.
Do you? Because, okay, first of all, I know that. The way she said it sounded like she didn't know it. But also, if you're just going with, like, this is either, yeah, I know, but I just don't think it's important and it doesn't fit my narrative. Or, I knew that. Like, she didn't know and is claiming she knew. Like, either way, like, I don't know.
Well?
Ota could have stabbed himself.
again, she's like, Ota could have stabbed himself. It sounds like she's trying to cover up shit. Instead of like, I mean, he could have stabbed himself. If you're trying to like bounce back and forth and you're saying it was a murder, I'm thinking murder-suicide, and like Ota could have stabbed himself, like trying to like think out all possibilities, but she sounds too insistent, like he could have stabbed himself. Maybe. I don't have blood on my hands. I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe he thought it would be a fatal wound, but when it didn't work, he went for the ice-cutting machine.
Okay.
Then, shouldn't we have recovered the kitchen knife from the scene?
Maybe he threw it in the ocean.
Boss, come on.
Yeah, I don't think he'd have that kind of forethought.
Ota goes out to the water, stabs himself in the gut, throws the knife over the side, then walks back to the warehouse?
Was there blood anywhere out there?
Well, I wasn't being serious.
She was like,
I didn't think Ota was the culprit from the beginning. I was just playing devil's advocate for HQ.
I mean, again, that makes sense. Her being like, I have to play devil's advocate here and we have to talk, but it's just the way she says things.
Really?
Yes, really.
Yeah, see, Dante's like, that sounds sus.
Anyway, Ota didn't kill anyone, and he didn't kill himself.
Alright, fine, game. You're gonna make me be like, I was wrong. And not necessarily of him being the killer, but I really did think the video, it was like, staged as fuck. Like, oh, don't stop! Oh, don't hurt Tessa! And then he's gonna save her. You know what I mean? And then the bear, because like, the polar bear was on screen, turned it on, walked away. Then Ota comes running in, turns it off, and saves the day. That doesn't look fucking suspicious as shit. But then the polar bear comes back, and then she dies, and it was like, I mean, it could still be either way. I don't really know what to think.
Here's what I think happened.
Stay away from Tessa!
Ota knew Iris was kidnapped, so he rushed onto the scene.
So did you think someone tased him? That's what you get, bro.
That's when he saw the culprit wearing the polar bear costume. He tried to fight him off, but ended up being stabbed in the side. He was weakened and losing blood at the culprit's mercy. The culprit forced him into the costume, then under the ice-cutting machine. And then...
I'm just surprised. I didn't think Ota was gonna die.
Then, who is the culprit?
And Iris was always meant to die. Because, like, even though, like, she died, and then we saved her, right? We're on some weird alternate reality or whatever, and then she ends up dead anyway. Like, at that end, and it's like, wait, I mean, I guess it's good I didn't like her, because I'd be kind of pissed. Like, oh, look, we saved her! And then you let her die at the end? But it's kind of interesting. It's like, was she always fated to die? Because she keeps dying and everything.
I wish I knew.
We're up to 4 victims.
And the only people is Iris's mom, number 89, Pewter, and Boss. And sure, Mama, but like, I really just, if Mama was the murderer, that'd be fucking amazing. Because like, you'd be like, wait, what? Did not see that one coming. See, now I'm gonna be like, see, I saw it coming. But it really is one of those like, yep, you couldn't have, don't bite me. It would still be like, if that was the case, like, Mama's a culprit, I'd be like, see, I said it, but like, I didn't actually believe that would happen. You know what I mean? Like, least likely. Right above that is maybe Iris's mom. Like, she was involved with Renju and number 89, who's a murderer, and some of that shit, so like, she could be kind of shady. But like, I don't think she'd kill her own daughter? You know? So like, that's why she's a step above Mama, not down with Mama, because like, Mama is like the most innocent person in this whole thing. So like, what's her face is right above Mama. Boss and Pewter on the top. They on the fucking top. Because like, we already know Pewter did some fucking suspicious shit in the route we went down, and like, kind of betrayed us to help out Renju, you know? And like, Moma doesn't count because he's Yakuza and like, he's in love with Iris. I don't think he'd kill her, and he's just there for comedic effect on the side, so. He is just, like, you don't even rank in the list of possible suspects, okay? It's probably gonna be him just because he doesn't even rank, but. My bank is now on Boss and Pewter and some kind of weird shit. Because, like, I still think I'm the original Cyclops killer. Like, I don't think there's no way I could have been the one in the polar bear costume. Because, like, how am I live streaming that while I'm... You know what I mean? It's not like, well, it was an old video and it was recorded and then uploaded and it wasn't live. They would have said that. And how would we have gotten tased, woken up, gotten there, done all that, and Iba wouldn't have known? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just can't be us. We could have been the original killer before Iba was put in our brain, though. I'm still banking on that. But my bet's on Boss and Pewter. I mean, they look sus as fuck. Boss is the only one who hasn't looked suspicious, which makes her suspicious.
But Ota was a special circumstance. He wasn't specifically targeted by the culprit.
Which is why he got to keep his eye. He wasn't special enough.
Right. And he was the only one to not have his eye pulled out.
Right.
So let's focus on the 3 other victims. Shoko, Renju, and Iris.
And the original Cyclops killer took the right eyes. We have our left eye missing. Everybody's getting their left eye taken. It's like it's someone who's trying to send a message to us, i.e. the original Cyclops killer. I'm still coming with that. You know what I mean? Like, it has something to do with us. There is some underlying shit here.
What connects these 3?
May, somehow.
Connections.
Mizuki.
If you find a connection between the victims, you find a connection to the culprit. That's the theory of investigation, right?
Mizuki's mom, dad, and her friend.
You think the new Cyclops killer is related to them somehow?
And me. All missing left eyes. I'm just saying.
Maybe not. That is a good starting point.
Like, why do they want her, you know? Look, the boss is sitting in front of me. Okay. Ota's mother, Mayumi.
Mayumi had motive for killing Iris and Renju.
I mean, the woman can barely remember where her husband is when he's in the living room.
Mayumi hated Iris, and she didn't think well of Lemniscate either. And since Renju is the president... Anyway, the weak point is Renju's ex-wife, Shoko. I can't imagine why Mayumi would kill her. And above all else, she would never harm her only son, let alone kill him.
Mizuki.
Mizuki has the strongest connections with all 3 victims. Shoko and Renju were her parents, and she was close friends with Iris.
And Ota.
She was good friends with Ota, too. But that's why I could never believe Mizuki would kill all 4 of them.
Mizuki, I don't think would kill them, but she's the connection between them.
Thinking of her as a suspect is ridiculous.
Although we also have connections to all of them. We didn't really know Shoko, but we're taking care of Mizuki. I mean, Mizuki really is the center around everybody that's died. So, I mean, it's not Moma.
Renju and Shoko were connected to the Kumakuras, but there's no connection to Iris.
And we know Iris's mother, see? Oh, so
Hitomi and
Tsuchima,
Renju
whatever
are
him.
definitely linked.
He wouldn't get his hands dirty.
They were high school classmates. And she did say that she met Shoko twice. But I can't imagine she would kill Iris in such a gruesome way.
Yeah.
No matter what the circumstances were. It seems impossible to me.
See, and notice you didn't say Boss and Pewter, because you don't think that it's them, but they're the ones that you're not considering. And again,
Renju, Shoko, and So.
I don't think I would have thought of that, except for we went down the Iris route and Pewter backstabbed us because he was in love with Renju. You know what I'm saying? So, like...
There is a connection between Renju and Shoko through the Kumakuras. But again, I can't see any clear link to Iris.
But, me.
I know Renju and Shoko. And I'm connected to Iris. But I have an alibi. Aside from Shoko, there's no way I could have killed any of them. No. Now that I think about it, Shoko too. I don't remember killing her. My memories from 6 years ago are missing. But I still have my memory of recent events.
But I don't think we did it. Because again, we have the... Unless Iba shut down and we did it and we're like, oh, I have memories. And Iba's like, well, I mean, but not really. But also this last one, it would have been physically impossible for us to do. Also, how would we have managed when we were also, I think, had an alibi for Renju's murder. Although if it was us, it'd be fucking amazing because it'd be like, how? We were with him the whole time and we didn't see it happening. Like, explain that to me, game. But Mizuki and Date are the two, like, closest ties. So it has something to do, like, I don't think it's either one of us, but it's something, it has something to do with me. I 100% high.
And if I start doubting myself now...
I mean, we're the center of the world here, right?
Date, I can say without a doubt that there is zero possibility you are the new Cyclops killer.
You're the new Cyclops killer. The old one!
I have been working with you for years. I know better than anyone that you are innocent.
You know, except for of the new crimes, anyway.
I thought it over, boss. Of the people I know, I can't peg any of them as the murderer.
But you and Mizuki are the closest related to all of these people.
And no leads to pursue?
Not really.
No.
Then there's only one thing you can do. Continue your investigation. Do whatever it takes to get the culprit. To get justice for the victims.
I mean, like, you don't want to think Boss is sus. It could just be the way she says things. Like, instead of throwing out, well, maybe Ota stabbed himself. It's like, maybe Ota stabbed himself. Like, she says it so suspiciously. She could just be playing the devil's advocate. You know, but it's just the way I guess she phrases her lines that it's not like, well, Ota could have stabbed himself. Oh, you ever think of that? You know? It's just the inflection of how she says things that sounds suspicious. But the game could also be doing that so that when she says, I'm just playing devil's advocate, you're like, oh, okay, I just kind of misread the way she was saying things so that later when she's the killer, you're like, trying to bamboozle me. I'm just saying.
You're right. Got it, boss.
I'm overthinking things. All right, let's go to the cold storage warehouse. Oh my god, we're going to have to tell Iris's mom. No, somebody else told them, right? I don't have to tell them that their family's dead. Oh my god, is Kagami here? Kagami, sir. I'm sorry. This game gets a 0 out of 10 for the fact that we could only troll Kagami once. It would have gotten a 12 out of 10 if we could have trolled Kagami in, like, every path. And just every time there's cops around me, oh, hey, what's your name again? It's Kagami, sir. Did you forget me already? Oh, right, you. Wait, what was your name again? I just wanted to be able to troll him more times. That's all I'm saying. That's all I want in my life. Still, I do enjoy this game. Iris gets a 0 out of 10. I stepped into the cold storage warehouse, sorry. The air conditioning wasn't running, but it was still cold. The temperature hadn't raised much at all. The cold air sunk into my skin, but the center of my body was burning hot. Alright. Inspector. Policeman. Oil drum. Unlikely to be a clue. I know, but I'm just poking at everything. Shelves. I don't see any clues here. Shelves with boxes. We won't go to the policeman yet. Okay, hold on. Anything up here? Oh, overhead crane. A hook is hanging from the crane. Okay, no. Anything else up here? Over the shelves here?
There are only a few items on the shelf.
Is this warehouse not in use?
Oh, box. A wooden box. It's empty. I keep clicking shelves, but I keep missing. There's nothing particularly suspicious. Forklift. I don't see anything special about it. We already did the crane. Whoops. Okay, we'll go to that afterward.
This forklift is old. It does not appear to be functional. It has not been moved in some time.
Cardboard box. There's a cardboard box on the floor. There's nothing in it. Okay. Well, we know what the important shit is. Covered with a layer of ice. These are things.
A video camera and laptop. This is what the criminal used to stream.
Polar bear and ice cutting machine.
All of these items have been bought from pawn shops and thrift stores. It would be difficult to determine a suspect from them.
No, don't scream like that.
I have logged into the Wi-Fi in this warehouse. Okiura Fishery Co., Ltd. is listed as the owner. However, I found the password written directly on the router. Anyone who saw it could have used it.
There was a router in the warehouse? Seems like a cold place for it to be.
I have done some research. As the name suggests, the company is owned by the Okiuras. The same Okiuras we know.
I feel like her voice just got really quiet.
Renju's father created the company.
Now it's back.
Another connection to Renju.
No, actually. Currently, Okiura Fishery has nothing to do with Renju. The company has been managed by office representatives for the past 17 years after Renju's father died.
Yeah, but it's got his name on it and it is his family, so...
Renju holds no shares and is not involved in the management.
You know what I mean? But somebody might not know that.
In short, Renju did not inherit the company from his father, and it was instead given to other persons.
But again, the reason they keep using this is because they probably think of it as being tied to him, right?
But it can't be a coincidence.
Right.
It certainly is suspicious.
Go back to the equipment, a video camera and laptop used for the stream. Okay, let's talk to the policeman. Look. Oh, I meant to... Any progress?
I checked this place point by point, but didn't find nothing.
Police officer. Okay. Inspector. Look. The inspector's doing his duties as usual. Any clues?
No, nothing so far.
Isn't that Kagami's voice? It sounded like Kagami, though. But come on! You can't do that to me! Set me up thinking it's Kagami and I can't freaking troll him! Damn it, Kate. Bloodstain. Is this Ota's blood? Might have been when he was stabbed. Evidence marker. A little marker that's put up to track evidence at the scene. Okay. Bloodstain A. Iris and Ota's blood.
Right here. Iris and Ota were...
I am sure you are already aware of Ota's time of death.
Just before I arrived. About 3:30 in the morning.
Oh.
And the cause of death.
Right, about that. Ota had a stab wound from a kitchen knife in his side.
Correct.
What was the exact cause of death? Was it the knife wound, or...?
I cannot determine that.
I'm gonna guess it was probably the saw cutting him in half.
I can conclude that the knife wound was at least close to being fatal. Even if Ota was still alive on the workbench, he was certainly on the verge of death. If he weren't already extremely weak, we would expect to see more signs of struggle.
Maybe Ota was trying to help Iris, jumping at the criminal. That led to a scuffle, and Ota ended up with a knife wound in his side. He lost all his power to fight back. He was forcibly put inside the costume, then finally cut open by the ice cutting machine. Like, they're making me feel bad for Ota. Like, and be feeling bad for, like, not liking Ota that much. Look, I don't hate Ota. He's a fucking bastard! And he's a creepy stalker. But he's a character you like to dislike. You know what I mean? When he comes up, you're like, ah, fucking A, Ota, Jesus! But you kind of, like that you dislike him. It's not like Iris where you're like, I hate her. You're like, Ota, I just like to hate on you.
But why?
But now I do feel bad. But again, it did look suspicious. It looked like he was just trying to fake it. And like, if she didn't die, if this hadn't happened, it had been like, oh, I fought off the guy. It would have been like, it's bullshit. He faked the whole thing.
Why did the culprit put the costume on Ota?
To make him look suspicious.
Unknown.
I mean, Iris and Ota's bodies are under autopsy. Their bodies aren't here anymore. Right here, Iris and Ota were... Ice cutting machine. Iris and Ota were sliced in two by this ice cutting machine. Jesus. Iris and Ota.
Iris's estimated time of death and cause of death have been confirmed.
Jesus. Trigger
The video was not a recording. It was a live stream, filmed in real time.
It's okay, so it was definitely not us.
Which means Iris's time of death is 3:20 a.m.
She was already out, though, which is good, because otherwise, God.
Iris also had her left eye removed.
Yeah.
And like Renju and Shoko, Iris's left eyeball has not been recovered. Date, we should get moving. Officers from the local jurisdiction are checking the warehouse thoroughly. We will not find anything of importance here.
I guess we checked everything.
Yeah, you're right.
You can ask CSI to inform you if they find anything.
All right.
An ice cutting machine? Okay, that was the last thing, and I guess... Okay. Okay, we just have to tell anybody. Let me know if you find anything. I let them know, then left the warehouse. I'll make sure we click everything. Although, if there was, like, a thing for that, like an achievement for clicking every goddamn thing, we're not going to get it, because I've probably missed some things, even though I'm trying. And when I had to redo that one, and, like, to get back to that part where we missed Renju's corpse hanging up, you know, I had to, like, go through the whole thing, so I didn't click half the shit I had, like, all around in the background. I was like, no need to do this! We'd already recorded it, but... Anyway, when I left the warehouse, I saw Pewter. What's he doing here? He walked up to me while I was trying to work it out.
Date, I have to talk to you about something.
Huh?
The fact that you're an evil supervillain?
About the original
birdies?
Cyclops serial killings.
Ooh!
Why this all of a sudden?
What you doing?
Because I want you to solve this case, Mr. Date. I want you to find who did this and bring them to justice.
I think he's mad that Renju's dead because he was in love with him.
So, if I can help you, even a little...
Oh my god, you're gonna give us information.
Why didn't you say anything at Abyss?
The boss was there. I couldn't speak openly in front of her.
Woo, we're doing some shady shit now.
So, I decided to meet you here.
I like how they're both like, sus.
All right. Let's hear it.
Earlier, I told you that I was completely certain the original Cyclops killer couldn't have committed these crimes.
You better tell me that I'm the original Cyclops killer, okay? Because, like...
I am absolutely certain the original Cyclops killer could not have committed these crimes.
Right, because it's me. Uh-huh.
Let me explain why.
If I'm not the real Cyclops, the original Cyclops killer, I'm gonna be so fucking disappointed in this game for letting me think that and then even reinforcing it with that image and the fucking Somnium.
I'll start by telling you the identity of the Cyclops killer.
It better be me!
Although, it's more accurate to say killers.
Oh.
More than one?
In the first series of killings, the culprit had an accomplice.
Oh.
One of them was born a murderous psychopath.
Was I the accomplice?
The other is Rohan Kumakura, the previous chairman of the Kumakuras.
Wait, and we knew him, right? We're a murderous psychopath? Oh, awesome.
They each had a role to play.
Right, I kind of forgot that when we went to see the Kumakuras, sorry, I got an itch on my ear, so my microphone's like way away. I had to like fix it. Okay. I always forget that they bring him up and it's like, well, and it's 6 years ago, but we knew who he was and we don't remember. You know what I mean? I was like, there's something about that. And I always forget that because they just kind of gloss over it when you meet Moma. And then it's like, you know it's going to come back eventually, but it just never has. And I keep forgetting about it.
The murderer committed the homicide. And Rohan removed the eyeball.
And Rohan's dead. Okay. A wooden box. Stack containers. A crane. We have to do all of these things. Container, a warehouse. Warehouse is all in a line. A barrier. Cold storage warehouse. Okay, hold on. We gotta check everything, and then we gotta go... Oh my god. I know. We technically... Ooh, policeman. A police officer. Water. The water of Tokyo Bay. Policeman number 1. Okay, hold on. No. 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 Alright, here we go. Alright, this is gonna get good. Look. Pewter looks grimly serious. Okay. What about Rohan?
18 years ago, Rohan took a woman's eye. She was already dead. He put his finger into her eye socket and gouged it out.
I know she was already dead, but it hurts.
The reason why was simple. He was fascinated by women's eyes. Their beauty stimulated his greed and his desire to possess them.
So we murdered them and he takes eyeballs. Okay.
He needed to have them. To make them his own. Driven by this instinctive impulse, he took the woman's eye.
Floating eyeball in the dark. I'm sorry.
From then on, he acquired a grotesque obsession with the eyes of dead women. He was very particular about his need that the eye belonged to a deceased woman.
I'm so anxious.
But even being the head of a Yakuza gang, there weren't too many opportunities for him to indulge. His deepest, darkest desire went unfulfilled for years. However, he soon met his ideal partner, the aforementioned psychopath. The Cyclops killer would commit the murder, and Rohan would take the eye. Thus, a mutually beneficial relationship was established. This was the origin of the Cyclops serial killings.
So, Iris probably saw us doing this, and then Rohan was the dude in the back, the red guy.
At about the same time, you were assigned to Abyss.
About the same time? Wait, are you gonna try to tell me that it wasn't me and that they attacked me and took my eyeball? Because that sucks. I wanted to be the kid. Don't disappoint me, game. Why did the case get classified?
That, I don't know.
The details of the original Cyclops serial killings case have become nebulous over time.
I just feel like when he's saying, I don't know, and like then you're gonna tell me I didn't do it, and that's gonna disappoint me. Like 0 out of 10 game for not making me the original killer, because that would have been so great.
Even the official investigation material contains nothing of value.
I'm like, I feel the disappointment growing.
I am unable to draw any conclusions from them.
You really have no idea?
Remember the last part when we were really excited? It's gone now.
If I did, I would tell you.
Okay, murderous psychopath.
He was born with a brain dysfunction. Due to damage to the posterior pituitary gland, he was unable to properly secrete oxytocin.
Oxytocin is a peptide hormone linked to feelings of love, affection, and trust.
You're not saying who.
It is colloquially referred to as the love hormone.
And now we have too much of it and we're a horny bastard. That would be so great.
It causes a tranquilizing effect which improves mood and relieves stress.
Because remember, she keeps saying about us being on drugs and like, did they up his dosage? What dosage of the love hormone? That's why I'm a horny bastard. I'm just saying it all fits so fucking well.
It is normally secreted when the body makes contact with an object of affection, such as an embrace or caress.
Or murdering someone.
I'm sure you know what this implies, but he was unable to feel love in the way that we do. However, he was able to experience a substitute. His brain was wired in such a way that allowed him to feel satisfaction through other means.
Like stabbing people?
Due to the unique idiosyncrasies of his brain, he was able to release large amounts of dopamine and endorphins.
By murdering people?
By performing a certain action.
Stabbing?
What was it?
Murder.
Murder.
Dopamine is a hormone linked to the reward system of the brain.
I love that. What was it? Murder. I mean, kind of saw that coming, but...
The pleasant feeling attained through accomplishment is dopamine. Endorphins are a kind of brain narcotic.
I'm just saying, this all points to us.
They dull pain and create a feeling of happiness.
He got pleasure from killing people?
It's gonna be so much more... If you don't reveal it's me, I'm gonna be so mad.
It's slightly more complicated than that. Killing people was the only way he could get pleasure.
Which is why we gave him drugs, and now he's a horny pervert.
He was 12 when he took his first life.
Oh, wow!
That enlightened him to the pleasure of murder, which he would do again and again.
Oh, wow. Summarize for me?
The original Cyclops killer had an accomplice.
But the thing is notice... But Pewter put our eyeball... I feel like Pewter would have to know that we were the... You know...
There were 2 Cyclops killers.
And one of them was the former chairman of the Kumakuras, Rohan Kumakura.
But, like, aren't we going to be like, so who was the first one, though? Who was the psychopath? And he's going to be like, part I can't tell you.
Rohan committed suicide by jumping to his death 1 year ago.
Yeah, because now your murder accomplice is a cop!
That means... Pewter, tell me this. One of the original killers is dead, I know that. But that means one remains.
He's like, but it's not.
Who is he?
After his 4th murder, he was arrested by the police. They actually picked him up on other charges. But in any case, he is currently serving a life sentence in Fuchu prison.
I don't believe that! I don't believe it! I don't! You're gonna try to tell me that it's number 89 and he's the one who did it, and I don't think it's him. 'Cause hi! Why don't we remember anything from 6 years ago? And how did I miss my eye? And what kind of drugs are you pumping into me when I was like, up my dosage? I'm like, huh? She's like, nothing. What are you hiding from me?
Fuchu prison?
You're trying to make a point to number 89 and I'll believe that bullshit.
Yes.
What's his name?
In prison, he doesn't have a name.
You're gonna say it's number 89 and I don't believe it.
He's simply called number 89.
I don't believe that. I don't. It just seems really, I don't know.
Number 89.
I know who killed Shogunadami.
I don't think it was him.
So, now you know why I said that. That the original Cyclops killer couldn't have committed these crimes.
I feel like... Look, maybe this is 100% true, but my brain is like, no, you are gonna pry my being suspicious of myself from my cold, dead fucking hands when this game is over. And I'm like, oh, so it really wasn't? Fuck you, game 0 out of 10. I'm still gonna I have the death grip on this idea that, like, no, it was really me, and you just don't want to tell me. Like, why was it classified? I don't know. Yes, you do. Well, again, because if we told people that there was a freaking serial killer and the police force, people wouldn't trust you. But, I mean, catch a killer. Come on. I seriously think it was us still. You know what I mean? Because it explains everything. And if, say, this is the exact thing, number 89 was the killer, they're gonna come up with some other reason why we're missing an eye, like, they tried to kill us because we were gonna catch them, you know what I mean? And then we forgot everything because you know what I mean? They're gonna come up with something else to kind of fill in those blanks. Well, we have to put you on medication because you had too much brain trauma, and if you remembered what happened, you were going to go crazy. Or something. They're going to come up with something to cover that, to explain all that. But it's going to be half-assed compared to, no, you were the original Cyclops killer, and we did some kind of weird brain experiments on you, and that's why you don't remember, and you're on drugs to give you a ton of dopamine so that you don't stab people, which is why you're a horny pervert. You know... And, like, you know, if I breathe on you too hard, you're going to get turned on. And you have an AI eyeball to keep your fucking shit in line. Yeah. That all makes so much more fucking sense. And is so much more... Fuck, what? Amazing, then. Okay, well, number 89 and Rohan did it, and then you almost caught them, and then they cut out your eyeball, and then there was, like, trauma, and then that's why you have this eyeball. I'm like, whatever. And you forgot. Well, that's not as fun. That's like the same old bullshit that happened. You have amnesia because you had trauma, and they cut out your eyeball, and that's why we give you drugs, so that you don't, like, remember your trauma. Okay, yeah. What's unique about that? That's like every fucking story where you have amnesia, basically. Like, that's so... No, but my version of it is, like, so much better. So, game, you're a fail if my version of it is not the actual truth. I'm still going to cling with the cold grip of death. You pry it from a cold dead hands, whippersnapper! That my story is the truth, and Pewter is just telling us this to kind of, you know, throw us off. Or maybe Pewter doesn't really know, but I think Pewter would have to fucking know. You know? Especially, why was it classified? Oh, I don't know. Again, come on. I think you're telling us something. You know what I mean? But why? What's the point of you coming and telling us this? At all. If you weren't going to tell us the actual truth. It's kind of weird, but well, anyway.
Because one is dead, and the other is behind bars. Neither of them had the opportunity.
I mean, I guess maybe he was worried of us being like, so how come it's not? It just isn't! But come on. But it isn't! And, like, he gives us this story, and we're like, oh, okay. I don't believe him for a fucking second. But we're gonna go to Matsushita Diner, and then we're gonna end this part. But I still think it's us, and I think, but Pewter, you ruined it for me, cause I was like, so fucking excited to get the who was the killer, who was the crazy psychopath. It was you. Dun dun dun. But at the same time, you're really going to tell us this now in the middle? We're not even done yet. I think we've got like 17 other Somniums we've got to do. This one led us down. Again, we saw one path or the other, so we're on one path. At this point, one of them does have a split, because I think going down the way we were going, so the first time we traumatized Mizuki. And that leads down two different endings. The Iris ending we got, and another one. Okay. So we can't go that way. This way leads toward three different endings. And I don't know if the path we got is the one that, again, splits to two. Because we had to go in that Somnium. We had to go in Iris's. There was no other choice. That splits out to two different ones. So now A is, say, the one we're on, and B is the other one. Does A split out two different ends, or is B the one that splits at two different ends? One of them, it's a straight shot down, but I think there's a Somnium or two, and then the other one has a split. So we still have at least two other Somniums we got to go through. So we're kind of like maybe halfway through this route. I don't know how fast it's going to come. But, like, why would you tell us, like, right now that we were the killer? But then you told us some other bullshit story, and then it's like, what? I'm curious as to why he felt the need to tell us that. Because I still don't believe it. I don't believe it. But I think maybe the game is like, well, we're going to give you this so that you think you're on, so that when the reveal happens later, you're like, what? You know what I mean? So you don't see it coming. Because it makes you suspicious of yourself when you see yourself in the glass, like, stabbing. And then now Pewter's like, oh no, it was number 89. And you're like, oh. Because they have to make number 89 relevant somehow in all of them. And like, at least in Iris's, number 89 was relevant because it was like, that was her mother's boyfriend. And we knew he was a murderer. And then you're going down this one. But the weird thing is, it's kind of like, I feel like we're not going to find out that it was really us, no matter what we do in this. Because I think what I read, there's the Iris route ending that we got. And you had to get that one first when you go in her Somnium. It's the only option. I think that's why it kind of guides you through and is like, oh, make a disco ball. And then you're like, I guess we're making a disco ball. I think that's the only option. I think you kind of have to get her ending before you can go back to that Somnium and go down the other path. And I think that other ending is more like the final one. Because I was like, oh, we'll do that one like next. And then I was reading and I'm like, okay, it's like, there's an Iris ending. I think there's an Ota ending. So I guess we're not getting that one because Ota's dead. There's, I think, a Mizuki ending. There's, I forget what the name of the other one is, and I forget the other two names, but I think the other one that branches off from Iris is maybe more like the final route that you're supposed to do. I'd have to see. But I kind of feel like we shouldn't find out that we shouldn't tie up all the loose ends and find out that we were the Cyclops killer until that. Because you know what I mean? Otherwise, if you found out now, you'd be like, okay, but what? Like, that's the huge reveal. And if that's not the huge reveal, this game is a fail. I like it, but I'll still be mad about it. And I'm just going to rewrite it in my head. So anyway, I'm still stuck on it. Pewter's not going to change my mind. Pewter's just trying to cover his own ass because he's sus as fuck, okay? But anyway, we'll wrap up here and we'll continue in the next part. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.